My name is Kaley O'Donnell. I currently live in Delaware, Ohio. Right now, I work full-time in a church as a program coordinator. In addition to my day job in the church, before that, I was working as a counselor, a licensed counselor in Ohio, and I did that for a number of years. I did that 2 years, and then I also currently work with program with Nikki and prepare to be pursued as a coach, with my kind of main domain area being emotional intelligence and emotional authority. Getting to see even like one night of the Make Room for Boaz, I knew this was something special. I knew based on, my experience with personal development and knowing what all that entails and what Nikki was saying it was in alignment and what she could talk about with this specific area, and having more of that extended knowledge really was amazing. So I knew that this was a gem and something I had to be a part of, both professionally and personally. So I started the program, I met Nikki and got started with my journey in 2021. So I did the 8 weeks and then I did the 6 months, some deep conversation. I thought about it, and I went ahead with a 12-month program, and I was like, yeah, I'm committed to making this happen. I really want this to happen. Actually, end of July, I think, this past year in 2024, I then opted for the new Lux program, which was like the process of once you finally have achieved the milestones of the 12-month to really get that extra step of like, I really feel like I'm ready. So I've been through all of the programs. I'm just so thankful that I have been. I knew that this was exactly what I needed. I'd prayed for it. I'd cried for it. I had just ended the worst relationship of my life. I had hit rock bottom, and I committed to myself in that dark space of like, never again. This is it. Like, this is the last time that this will happen to me, that this next relationship I'm in will be my husband. And that I was so serious about that. And it just like was a godsend, because like right at that time is when I met Nikki, and it was just exactly what I needed and wanted. And I just knew that this was exactly the right step. I was like, what am I get to do something differently from now on. This gets to never happen again. I'm going to do whatever it takes. That I obviously need to learn some things about myself and about this process that I clearly don't know, because I'm clearly doing things wrong and getting the wrong results. So what is it that I need to do? Help me. Let me, I've got open ears. What can I do? And so in this program, this was exactly what I wanted and needed. I'm really excited to say that, where I'm at finally in my prepare to be pursued journey is influencing his decision to commit. Definitely the emotional authority piece I had to work through. Definitely struggled in the area of attracting and then keeping. Definitely went through that process. Honestly, the choosing process happened really fast, because once I was in the keeping stage and started attracting quality men, I was able to sort through guys really fast and found a great guy really, really fast. And that's kind of the area I live in now, is influencing his decision to commit for life. Like, I influenced his decision to commit relationship wise, and just like being able to have that skill set now, and just where I've been is just cool to live in that space, just because this is what you strive for this whole process, and to live in it finally. I just take days to be thankful, and to take days to stop and look around and be like, this is where you're at, this is what you did, how far you got. And it took a lot to get here, but it's just beautiful, and it's just part of who I am now. And I say that and I get emotional talking about it, because it was in me and I knew it was. I just had to find it again. Finding out who I really was and giving myself a lot of permission to do that, to live the authentic life I really wanted. Having gotten to know this guy, we're a perfect match, and he takes care of me in all the ways I've always ever wanted. And I just have to be me and give myself full permission to be me and ask for what I want and what I need and live authentically into that. And he honors that, and he loves that. In my mind, I influenced him to go on a second date, and in his mind, that was absolutely him wanting to go on a second date because he realized he wanted to see me again before he went out of town. And he's like, I want to let you know that I'm thinking about things differently, and I'm thinking about the future now. And I've been thinking about the future since I've met you. And kind of him throwing ideas out there and me sharing what I think about them and kind of what he wants for the future, what I want for the future, and how they align. And I think finding where we have those things in common and me being able to come alongside and provide feedback on like, have you thought of this? Or, you know, this is something I want, and he liking that idea has not made me thought of it before. Yeah, he definitely has been working towards that and moving in that direction to where we were talking about traveling the other day or possibly living abroad, and he dropped the marriage word. Like, we would have to be married to do that. Oh my gosh, so much. I went back and have rewatched some of my old videos. I'm just like, wow, I forgot. Like, that was when I learned that, or that was when I overcame that. And that's when I realized that about myself. And when I gave myself permission. At the early part of this process, I was in such a different place. When I started the program, I couldn't even talk to men. I was devastated from a relationship. I had trust issues. I was just coming off of a cheating situation. It was COVID. Like, I didn't even know how to socialize anymore. I wasn't going out. I mean, all I did was work. Some things that I've accomplished amongst so many things, in no particular order, is being comfortable around men. Learning to ask for what I needed. At some point in the program, I ended up finding a better job that was scary to me. It was a big role, like kind of being like a director role and the leader in charge of things, and a position that was terrifying to me, but I knew that I wanted it, and I knew that it was the right step for me. And what I learned after I took that what seemed like a big scary job, I remember people asking me after I started, what's the biggest surprise so far? And my answer was how good I was at my job, and how easy and how much I just flowed in it, and that it was, and I excluded myself from things that I wanted or that were big deals to me because I didn't feel ready for them, and I didn't give myself permission to try. Setting boundaries, also in my job, learning to prioritize myself and learn to prioritize my goals. Also learning to limit who I shared this journey with friends. Learning that who my circle was influenced my relationships. You know, talking to people who weren't in the same understanding of what they were trying to do like I was became more and more clear to me that like I could not have conversations with friends the way I used to, and listen to them talk about men the way I used to, in a way that was productive for this part of my life. So I had to separate myself a little bit more from people who talked negatively about men, about relationships, about dating. And another big thing was learning to own my truth, even if it was offensive to people. A huge thing I overcame in this work was recognizing, understanding that I had a role of I had a tendency to be uncomfortable and not say things because I didn't want to offend people or come across rude, and learning to own my truth in the sense that if something was not for me, if something didn't make me happy, I get to leave the situation. I get to not be a part of that. I get to walk away and tell that person no, or say, hey, you know what? I don't like this, or this isn't for me. People meet me is the way people treat me. So getting myself right in this process, and if I wasn't fully ready, and if I wasn't, fully able to show up as my honest self and be honest about how I feel, that people are going to treat me that way. Knowing my worth, I also in this process asked for a raise at work, and that was probably one of the most terrifying things I've ever done. And I got the raise because I recognized my worth and that I was deserving of more because of what I was contributing. And that really made me feel nauseous to do. But again, I asked and they said yes, and there was no pushback. And so learning again that I get to be in spaces that seem scary to me and ask for things that seem scary to me because it's where I want to be and where I should be. Overcoming my past, that was a big one too. You know, coming out of a hard relationship experience, a cheating experience, and being triggered a lot by pictures, voices, names, to getting to a point in my process I noticed where like it would really impact me and it really upset me. I would think about it for days, to later on, like a year later in the process, recognizing that like there'd be a trigger and it would only bother for me for maybe 20 minutes to half an hour. Two, maybe I'd see a trigger and it would only bother me for a couple minutes, and to the point where I didn't even care anymore. And that was beautiful to see over the process of like several years. Of all the things I just talked about, I think the thing that I'm most proud of is recognizing that spaces I didn't feel like I belonged in, or spaces I didn't feel ready for or good enough for, are spaces that now that I have gotten there feel very right for me, and that I feel very much prepared for, very much ready for, was ready for, or absolutely once I stepped into them, I'm like, I got this. Like, this is great. And I'm rocking it. And I mentioned that with my job and in this relationship too that I'm in now. Like, I'm in a place where like I claim everything that I receive. I'm like, yes, I am not going to be overwhelmed, and I'm not going to second guess what is coming to me. I'm not going to second guess, worry about like oh, he's treating me so good, I don't deserve this. Like, I am receiving with joy and enthusiasm everything, and kind of having that mantra of everything good and exciting and big and wonderful that's coming to me, I fully accept and I fully am willing to receive. And yes, I am going to receive it, and I'm going to claim it completely, wholly. So whatever good things you have coming my way, bring it, because I am ready to receive it all. So I'm really proud of that. Yeah, overcoming that like people pleasing, really claiming my journey, honoring myself, making boundaries, owning my worth, learning to own that in social settings when meeting people, of like, again, that the way people meet you is the way they treat you. So showing up fully, I'm like, as not apologetic and owning my truth. I think those were big things to overcome, kind of recognizing how to get the type of relationship that I wanted, and specifically how to do that, I think was a big challenge. The modules, oh my gosh, like concise, tangible, hopeful. It gave me an understanding of like a step-by-step way to move forward and make progress, and recognize like where I'm at, what I need to work on, and what's next, and like kind of step by step, that this, follow the steps and really work through these things and understand and recognize these things for yourself, and you will get there in your own time. So beautiful for the modules, private coaching sessions. I would not be here without Nikki. I would not be here without this program. So much clarity, being able to explore these things with intentionality. Yeah, having someone to go through all of this with and purse it out and get clarity and ask questions and get information that you didn't know. And, I learned things about navigating relationships and how to have conversations and date that I had no idea. Like, I never had the idea that you could date more than one person at a time. Weekly Q&As, yes, absolutely, being able to, as well as the group coaching, yeah, same thing. Just being able to connect with the other women and hearing their parts of the journey and the process, that was really wonderful too. There were some moments of hearing about other women's journeys that opened my eyes. I remember reading one of these newsletters early on in my journey and hearing a woman talk about, maybe even on the Q&A too, but hearing her testimonial, but in the newsletter, about that she could set a boundary with a guy, and not only would he respect it and honor it, he would thank her for setting that boundary and being clear with him. And I remember that was phenomenon for me. VIP days, I think that is such a massive gem of this program, is the VIP days and how Nikki does it. Being able to do it with Nikki live in person. I did both. I did the one where in Florida when I came to her and we practiced, and that was massive. I learned so much. Those were huge pivotal days for me. of her being able to watch and us process through situations, I learned about my comfortability, what I was allowing myself to have and not have, what I was attracted to, and that I was attracted to old habits that weren't the best. Versus when I got a connection that was really good, I didn't lean into it because I wasn't ready to lean into something good yet. So that was huge. And then knowing where to go, that was also massive. Like having hard evidence that you can do this anywhere. And then I did the VIP where she came to your city so I could learn where in my city I could go, which was in May. Within a series of 4 months, by the time she came to my city, I was ready. And so she helped me find places to go, and we went and did things. And that VIP day is where I met my man. So like it can happen. Like when you are ready to do it, it happens that fast. We were doing VIP day to practice of where I could go in my city. We go to an event and I met my man at the event that she was at with me. Like I met him there. I met my man at my VIP day. If you want to know if it's important, it's important. This program eventually can be about dating. This program eventually can be about finding and positioning and being ready. And when you're ready, it happens so fast. But this program is about more so being what you need for yourself first. This program is about becoming who you were meant to be, giving yourself permission to finally have and live the life that you wanted, working through that, letting go of the past, letting go of whatever's getting in your way, not learning how to not find happiness in what you're looking for in other people, but finally finding it within yourself, being the best gift to yourself, finally kind of like really becoming the person you've always wanted to be, because we ultimately want to be the best version of ourselves to attract the best version of a man that we want. And this program helps you become the best version of yourself. It gives permission for you to really reach for the stars, that what you thought was impossible is very real and very possible, and giving yourself permission to have it all. That's what I would say this program is. I mean, when I found the program, I was like ready. I was like, let's do this. What else is going to give you the direction, the clarity, the support, the love, the positive relationships? What else is going to give you that? What else is out there? It's not, I mean, there's bits and pieces everywhere. It's not this. This is the whole package. If you're willing to do the work, be ready. If you're willing to do the work, be ready for it. Explore and ask yourself why the idea of having what you want is so scary. And does that come from self-worth? Where does that come from? Not having a clear step forward. What I could say is when I signed up for the Elite Allure program, the last one that I did, I wept on the phone with Nikki because I had generational wealth money that was for my kids, that had been given to me by my grandparents, that I wanted to keep in there and not touch because I wanted my kids to have that. And I wept because I realized that everything that I had prepared or wanted to prepare for the future was not going to happen unless I did something about it, which meant, in this case, spending the money. Because if I didn't spend the money and invest in getting clarity on what I needed to do for this program and to find a relationship, I was never going to have kids to be able to give this generational wealth to. I was never going to have the kids to have this future with that I wanted. I was never going to have the husband that I've been dreaming about my whole life. I was never going to have those things unless I did something about it and invested in it. That's what made me really do the last push, was you're not going to have it if you don't do something about it. So how bad do you really want it? How much do you care about starting the process? How much do you want to start and try something different? How valuable is it to you that even though it's scary and it's hard and it's going to suck sometimes, it's worth doing because you want it that bad? Do you think it's not doable? Because I'm here to tell you that I'm living it now. And that's, one thing that I've even said with my relationship is said to me, I can't believe that this is happening. I feel like it's a dream. I think I'm gonna wake up one day, like, I can't believe I found you, is the things he says to me. And I remember thinking, when he said that I found you, or thought surprised by this, and I remember thinking, I'm not surprised that I have this man in front of me in this amazing, incredible relationship, because I did the gosh darn work to get here. And now I get to benefit and have the benefits of my work. I get to reap the rewards of the hard work. I did the hard work. I put in the time and the effort and the tears, and now I have it. And I get to enjoy it and soak it in and appreciate it and accept it and claim it and receive it for all the wonderful things that it is. And one day, every woman gets to have that too.